My mom told me I should have given you up at my wedding, so I cut her off completely and built a $10 million business she'll never benefit from. If you believe in stories that matter, subscribe and support us. And please, leave a comment with your city or country. We enjoy learning about our viewers. I stood in my bridal suite at the Magnolia Gardens, Charleston, my hands trembling as I adjusted my veil. 28 years old, finally marrying Marcus, the man who'd helped me build everything from nothing. My dress cost $4,200. Money I'd saved for 2 years. Every detail was perfect. Or so I thought. "Kenya, baby, you look beautiful," my best friend Shanice whispered, dabbing her eyes. She'd been there through everything. The hungry nights, the evictions, the scholarships I fought for. My mother, Diane, sat in the corner, scrolling through her phone. She'd arrived late, complained about the hotel, criticized my choice of flowers. Standard behavior. I'd learned to expect nothing and still end up disappointed. "Mom, can you help me with this clasp?" I asked, holding out my grandmother's necklace. The only thing I had from Grandma Rose, who'd raised me more than Diane ever did. She glanced up, her face twisting into that familiar expression of disgust I'd seen my entire life. "You're really going through with this circus?" My stomach dropped. "What?" "This whole thing," she gestured around the elegant suite. "You always were dramatic. Spending all this money to marry some man you barely know. Marcus and I have been together for 5 years. 5 years of you playing house," she snapped. "I told you when you were 16 you weren't special. Nothing's changed. You're still that needy little girl begging for attention." Shanice stepped between us. "Mrs. Patterson, this is Kenya's wedding day." "I know what day it is," Diane said coldly, standing. Her words came next, each one a bullet. "I should have given you up when I had the chance. Would have saved us both a lot of trouble." The room went silent. Completely, devastatingly silent. Time stopped. My ears rang with a high-pitched whine that drowned out everything else. I'd heard my mother say cruel things before. God knows she'd perfected the art of cutting me down. But this? On my wedding day? In front of my bridesmaids? "What did you just say?" My voice came out steady cold. A calmness washed over me that felt almost dangerous. Diane rolled her eyes. "You heard me. Always so sensitive, Kenya. Can't take a little honesty." "A little honesty?" Shanice's voice cracked. "Are you serious right now?" My mother turned on her. "Stay out of family business. You're just the friend who—" "Get out." The words left my mouth before I'd fully processed them. But once they were out there, I felt something shift inside me. Something fundamental and irreversible. Diane laughed. "Excuse me." I said, "Get out. Out of this room. Out of my wedding. Out of my life." I walked to the door and opened it. My hands weren't shaking anymore. "You have 2 minutes to collect your things and leave before I have security escort you out." "You can't be serious," she scoffed, but something in my expression must have registered. "Fine. Throw away your only parent over nothing. Just proves my point. You're ungrateful." "Ungrateful." The word tasted bitter. "I'm ungrateful? You mean the daughter who paid your rent 3 times last year? Who bought your car when yours died? Who invited you to this wedding despite everything?" She grabbed her purse. "You'll regret this, Kenya. You'll come crawling back." "No," I said quietly. "I really won't." She left. The door clicked shut. And something inside me, that desperate people-pleasing little girl who'd spent 28 years trying to earn her mother's love, died right there in that bridal suite. I married Marcus 45 minutes later with makeup covering my tear-stained face. As I walked down the aisle alone, no one to give me away, just me choosing myself, I saw confusion in our guests' faces. They'd seen Diane arrive. Now she was gone. Marcus's eyes met mine and I saw the question there. I shook my head slightly. Later. We'd talk later. The ceremony was beautiful. Marcus's vows made me cry. Real tears this time, good ones. I promised to be the family you deserved, he said, and I believed him. At the reception, people asked about my mother. I'd prepared a simple answer. She couldn't stay. Let them interpret that however they wanted. Marcus's mother, Patricia, a warm woman who'd welcomed me from day one, pulled me aside. Sweetheart, what happened? I told her everything. Every word. Every cruel syllable. Patricia's face went through several emotions. Shock, anger, heartbreak. Then she hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. That woman is a fool. And you, my dear, are stronger than you know. I don't feel strong, I admitted. I feel empty. That's the grief, she said wisely. You're mourning the mother you should have had, not the one you got. That's valid. Feel it, process it, then let it fuel you. Later, cutting the cake with Marcus, smiling for photos, dancing with my new husband, I felt lighter. Freer. Like I'd finally cut an anchor that had been drowning me. But that night, alone in our hotel suite, Marcus held me while I sobbed. She said she should have given me up, I whispered against his chest. At my wedding. Then we'll prove her wrong, he said fiercely. We'll build something so magnificent she'll choke on her regret. I didn't know it then, but those words would become my North Star. We returned from our honeymoon to 17 missed calls from Diane. I deleted them without listening. She texted, "You're overreacting. Call me." I blocked her number. My Aunt Carol called next. "Kenya, your mother is devastated. She's family. You need to forgive her." "Did she tell you what she said to me?" I asked. Silence. Then, she said you two had a disagreement. She told me she should have given me up for adoption. At my wedding. In front of my bridesmaids. That's not a disagreement, Aunt Carol. That's abuse. More silence. Well, she's still your mother. And I'm still her daughter, but that didn't stop her from treating me like garbage for 28 years. I hung up. Blocked her too. Marcus and I threw ourselves into work. He was a software engineer. I'd been managing a small marketing firm. But I had bigger dreams. I'd been developing an idea for months. An app connecting minority-owned businesses with corporate contracts, cutting through the networking barriers that kept small businesses small. BridgeLink, I said one night, showing Marcus my proposal. It's like LinkedIn meets Shark Tank meets community advocacy. His eyes lit up. Kenya, this is brilliant. The market research alone. I've been working on it for 2 years, I admitted. I never told anyone because my mother always said my ideas were stupid. Marcus's jaw tightened. Your ideas aren't stupid. You're not stupid. And we're going to make this happen. We invested our savings, $47,000 combined. It was terrifying. It was exhilarating. It was ours. The first 6 months were brutal. I worked my day job, then came home and coded until 2 a.m. Marcus helped with back-end development. We ate ramen, skipped date nights, survived on coffee and determination. My cousin Jasmine called in month 3. Kenya, I heard you're doing some business thing. Your mom says you're wasting your money. How would she know what I'm doing? I asked coldly. She keeps asking about you. She won't admit it, but I think she misses you. That's not my problem anymore, Jasmine. She's family. Family doesn't get a free pass to abuse you just because you share DNA. I was so tired of this conversation. Tell her if she wants to talk, she can apologize. A real apology. Not, "I'm sorry you're so sensitive," or, "I'm sorry you took it the wrong way." A real acknowledgement of what she did. Jasmine never called back. Neither did Diane. By month 8, Bridgelink had 50 registered businesses. By month 10, we'd facilitated our first major contract, a $200,000 deal between a Black-owned catering company and a tech giant. They took a percentage, $20,000. I cried when that money hit our account. Real, ugly, grateful sobs. Marcus proposed expanding. We need to hire people. Scale this thing. We hired 3 employees. Shanice as operations manager, Marcus's college friend Devin as tech lead, and a brilliant kid named Tyler for marketing. Our team. Year 1 revenue, $340,000. I thought about my mother exactly once that year, on my birthday. She'd sent a card to Marcus's mother's address. Happy birthday. Hope you're not still being dramatic. I threw it away without finishing it. Year 2 started with a bang. Bridgelink attracted attention from venture capitalists. A firm in Silicon Valley wanted to talk. They're offering $2 million for 20% equity, Marcus said, stunned, staring at the email. I couldn't breathe. $2 million? Initial investment. With growth projections suggesting, he did quick math. If we hit our targets, this company could be worth $10 million in 3 years. We flew to California. The pitch went perfectly. The VCs loved our mission, our numbers, our vision. They wanted in. We signed the deal in March. The money hit our account in April. By May, we'd opened offices in 3 cities. That's when my phone rang. A number I didn't recognize. Kenya? It's your mother. My hand tightened around the phone. 2 years. 2 years of silence. How did you get this number? That doesn't matter. I heard about your little business. I'm proud of you, baby. Little business. The words made my blood boil. What do you want, Diane? I'm your mother. I can't just call to congratulate my daughter. You haven't been my mother in 2 years. You told me you should have given me up. At my wedding. Remember? Pause. You're still hung up on that? Kenya, I was stressed. You know I didn't mean it. Actually, I think you meant every word. My voice was ice. But here's the thing, I don't care anymore. I'm done trying to earn love from someone incapable of giving it. Don't talk to me like. I hung up. Blocked the number. Went back to work. Bridgelink exploded. Year 2 revenue, $3.8 million. We facilitated contracts totaling $47 million between minority businesses and corporations. Our team grew to 25 people. Forbes mentioned us in an article about innovative Black entrepreneurs. I was on cloud 9. Until Shanice came to my office, her face troubled. Kenya, we need to talk. Your mother's been calling the office. My coffee cup stopped halfway to my mouth. What? She's called 6 times this week. She tells whoever answers that she's your mother and it's urgent. She called Devin's personal cell somehow, claiming she needs to reach you about a family emergency. My hands shook with rage. There's no emergency. She's manipulating. I know, Shanice said gently. Everyone knows. But Kenya, she's getting more persistent. Today she showed up at reception. She what? Security stopped her. But she caused a scene. Shouting about how her daughter abandoned her, how she raised you alone, how you owe her. Shanice's voice was careful. Some employees heard. Creating questions. I stood pacing. She's trying to embarrass me. To force contact. What do you want to do? What did I want to do? The little girl inside me wanted to hide. But the CEO, the woman who'd built this empire from nothing, wanted to fight. Get me a lawyer, I said. I want a cease and desist letter. She comes near this office again, we press charges for harassment. Shanice nodded. Already called one. She's waiting in conference room B. The lawyer, a sharp woman named Angela Crawford, didn't sugarcoat it. Your mother's behavior could escalate. Document everything. Every call, every interaction. If she violates the cease and desist, we can pursue a restraining order. How did my life become this? I whispered. You became successful, Angela said simply. And toxic people hate being cut off from success. The cease and desist worked for 3 months. Blessed silence. Then came the interview. A local news station wanted to feature Bridgelink as part of their Young Entrepreneurs Changing the Game series. I agreed, excited for the exposure. The interview went well. The reporter, Jennifer Santos, asked smart questions about our mission, our growth, our future plans. Then as we wrapped up, she said, "One last question. Your mother reached out to us. She says you've cut her off completely over a minor disagreement. She's asking for a chance to reconnect. Want to comment?" The world tilted. "Excuse me." Jennifer looked uncomfortable. "We won't air it if you don't want to address it." But she was very emotional. She said she's been trying to reach you for years. That you've blocked her from your success. Marcus, standing off camera, looked murderous. I felt my professional mask slip. "Jennifer, I appreciate the question, but my personal family matters aren't relevant to this story about Bridgelink." My voice was steady, but inside I was screaming. However, since my mother made it public, let me be clear. I cut contact because she told me on my wedding day that she should have given me up for adoption. That's not a minor disagreement. That's abuse. Jennifer's eyes widened. I'm so sorry. We had no idea. It's fine. Don't air any of this. Keep the focus on Bridgelink and the businesses we're helping. I stood, extending my hand. Thank you for your time. In the car I lost it. She contacted the news? The fucking news. She's desperate, Marcus said grimly. You're successful now. She sees dollar signs. She doesn't get a penny. Not 1 cent. I know, baby. I know. 2 weeks later, Aunt Carol showed up at our house. Uninvited. Unannounced. We need to talk about Diane, she said, pushing past me into the living room. There's nothing to discuss, I replied coldly. She's your mother, Kenya. She's struggling financially. Her landlord is threatening eviction. She needs help. Then she should get a job. I crossed my arms. Like I did when I was 16 and she kicked me out for a week because I talked back. Remember that, Aunt Carol? When I slept in Shanice's car because my mother decided I needed to learn a lesson. Carol winced. That was wrong, but... No buts. She made her choices. I'm making mine. She's telling everyone you're heartless. That you abandoned her after she sacrificed everything for you. Carol's voice grew sharp. Do you know what that's doing to the family? People are taking sides. Let them. I felt something cold settle in my chest. Anyone who believes her version without asking mine isn't someone I need in my life anyway. So you'll just throw away your whole family? I'll throw away anyone who enables abuse. I walked to the door, opening it. Including you. You have 2 choices, Aunt Carol. Believe me or believe her. But don't come here demanding I fund her lifestyle after what she did. Carol left. Within a week, I'd blocked 15 family members who'd called to lecture me about forgiveness and family loyalty. Marcus held me that night while I grieved. You're doing the right thing, he whispered. Then why does it hurt so much? Because you're not heartless. You're just done being a doormat. Year 3. Bridgelink was valued at $8.5 million. We were on track to hit $10 million within months. Everything was perfect professionally. Personally, Diane escalated. She created a Facebook page. A mother's heartbreak. My daughter abandoned me. Complete with old photos of us, manipulated captions about my cold heart, posts about how success had changed me. It went viral in our community. People who didn't know the full story shared it, adding their own commentary about ungrateful children and money-changing people. My phone exploded with messages. Some supportive, many critical. Then Marcus's cousin Brianna, a social media manager, called. Kenya, I can fix this. But you have to let me go nuclear. What do you mean? I mean, we tell your story. The real story. Every detail. Every moment of abuse. Every cruel word. We flip the narrative. Her voice was intense. But it'll be public. Everyone will know everything. I thought about it for 3 days. The little girl in me wanted to hide to protect family secrets. But the woman I'd become? She was done protecting abusers. Do it, I said. Brianna wrote a Twitter thread that broke the internet. She shared everything. The wedding day comment, the years of emotional abuse, the manipulation, the recent harassment. She included screenshots of Diane's voicemails, emails, the cease and desist letter. She ended with, Kenya Patterson built a $8.5 million company while overcoming trauma her own mother inflicted. If you think she's heartless for setting boundaries, you're part of the problem. It went viral. Millions of views. Thousands of responses. Most supportive. Some critical. But the narrative shifted. Diane's Facebook page got flooded with comments calling her out. She deleted it within hours. 1 month later, Diane showed up at my office again. This time she made it past security by claiming she was there for a business appointment under a fake name. Shanice burst into my office. Kenya, she's here. Security's coming. No. I stood straightening my shoulders. Let her in. It's time we had this out. Diane walked in and I barely recognized her. She looked older, harder. Desperate. Kenya, please. I need to talk to you. You have 5 minutes, I said coldly, checking my watch. Then security escorts you out and we file trespassing charges. I'm sorry. The words came out rushed. For what I said at your wedding. For everything. I was wrong. Why now? Why after 3 years of harassment, manipulation, and public smear campaigns? Her face crumpled. Because I'm broke, Kenya. I lost my apartment. I'm staying with Carol and she's tired of me. I need help. There was the truth. So you're not actually sorry. You're just desperate. I am sorry. I made mistakes. Telling your daughter you should have abandoned her isn't a mistake. It's cruelty. And you didn't just do it once. You spent my entire childhood making me feel unwanted. I felt tears threatening but pushed them back. The wedding was just the final straw. I was a young mother. I was struggling. So was I. I was a child. Your child. And instead of protecting me, you blamed me for your struggles. My voice rose. I needed a mother, Diane. Not a critic. Not an enemy. A mother. I did my best. Your best was telling me I was worthless. Your best was kicking me out as a teenager. Your best was sabotaging every ounce of confidence I tried to build. I stood. Time's up. Get out. Kenya, please. Get out. She left, escorted by security. I watched from my window as she climbed into a beat-up car and drove away. I felt nothing. No guilt. No sadness. Just relief. 6 months later, Bridgelink hit $10.2 million valuation. We celebrated with the whole team. Dinner at Marcus's favorite restaurant, champagne, speeches about the journey. Patricia, my mother-in-law, stood and raised her glass. To Kenya, who built an empire on courage, determination, and refusing to accept less than she deserved. You're the daughter I always wanted and I'm proud to call you mine. I cried. Happy tears. Healing tears. Later Shanice pulled me aside. You did it, girl. Everything you said you would. We did it, I corrected. None of this happens without you. Your mom reached out to me last week, Shanice admitted, asking me to convince you to give her another chance. My stomach tightened. What did you tell her? I told her that I watched you build yourself from nothing while she tore you down. I told her you're the strongest person I know, and she's the biggest fool in history for not seeing what she had. Shanice squeezed my hand. I told her to leave you alone. Thank you. That night Marcus and I sat on our balcony, our home, a beautiful condo in the downtown we'd both dreamed of, and looked at the city lights. Do you ever regret it? He asked. Cutting her off? I thought about it. Really thought. No. I regret that I had to. I regret that she couldn't be the mother I needed. But cutting her off? That saved my life. You saved your own life, he corrected gently. You chose yourself when no one else would. He was right. I'd spent 28 years trying to earn love from someone incapable of giving it. The last 3 years I'd learned to give that love to myself. Today Bridgelink is worth $12 million and growing. We've helped over 500 minority-owned businesses secure contracts worth over $200 million. We have offices in 6 cities. A staff of 75. Me. I'm the CEO of a company that's changing lives. I haven't spoken to Diane in 4 years. Through the grapevine, I hear she's still struggling, still blaming me, still playing the victim. I feel nothing about it. Not anger. Not guilt. Nothing. Some family members have apologized, admitting they didn't understand the extent of the abuse. I've cautiously reconnected with a few. Others remain blocked. I'm at peace with both outcomes. Last week, a young woman approached me after a speaking engagement. Miss Patterson, my mother says terrible things to me. But she's family. How do I know if I should cut her off? I looked at this girl, maybe 22, with hope and pain in her eyes, and gave her the truth. If someone treats you in a way you wouldn't accept from a stranger, DNA doesn't make it acceptable. Family should be a sanctuary, not a battlefield. If it's the latter, you have permission to leave. She cried, hugged me, said, thank you. That's the legacy I'm building. Not just a company but a message. You don't owe your abusers anything. Not forgiveness. Not access. Not your success. I think about my wedding day sometimes. That moment when everything shattered. It was the worst day of my life and the best. Because in that moment I finally chose myself. Diane will never benefit from my success. Not financially. Not socially. Not in any way. And I'm not sorry about it. I built a $12 million empire from the ashes of her rejection. I surrounded myself with people who love me unconditionally. I married a man who treats me like I'm worthy. I am worthy. Always was. And that's something Diane will never be able to take from me.